Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. This is taken at his 4. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
Down, 180. Defense wins championships, baby. Check 3, check 3, check 3. Watch twins, watch twins.
Now a first carry for Isaiah Crowell. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Shotgun now for Carr. And this is incomplete.
Yeah, good game catching the ball in the backfield a week ago. And they're going to try and involve him in that way in this game as well. But you can tell scouting is taking over. They're making it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, defensively, they told us, hey, we've got to take him out of the passing game, limit it to just short runs, because he can really impact this offense. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive.
Hey, 734. Express. Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. Mike's 50. Mike's 50.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And 3rd down is a key down in any game you play. And 3rd down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
And this will be out of bounds. Now it's a question of where they'll mark it. And they'll say it crosses at the 11-yard line. So Prescott and the Cowboys now with a 1st and 10 at their own 11. Here's the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 11, he goes down. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. From the shotgun, it's Prescott. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A punt of 46, a return of 5. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And still a lot of football to be played in this season. We're only in November. A lot can happen between now and January. But if it ended today, they would just be on the outside of the playoff picture looking in. So a lot to fight for.
Yeah, and wasn't it interesting in our meeting with the coaching staff that they all made sure to let us know. We know where we are right now, but the playoffs don't start tomorrow. We still got some time, and they plan on putting it together, formulating a streak, got the whole month of December still left to play. They think they can get in.
And they made it very obvious to us that there's no playoff talk in the locker room right now. It's win this game and look to next week.
Excellent focus.
He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Hey, Delta. Express. Mike, 55. Check 55, Mike.
from the gun, it's Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Darren Waller, the intended receiver, but it'll be second down.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
Hey, Charlie. I got you, boy. I got you, boy. Mike, 55. Right there, Will. Express. 3 bucks. 55 is Mike, guy. 55. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Throwing again. Carr. The open man here, Renfro. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it.
And he fights his way into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Isaiah Crowell, his 9th touchdown of the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
Prescott on first down. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst able to take him down. It's a loss of 3.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Gary and Conley. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. And this defense looking like they have come to play. The pick 6, and just like that, it's 13-0 early on.
Well, go back with me to our training camp visits. What do we hear during these drills? Pass. Ball's in the air.
And then my favorite.
Oski. That's the interception. That means everybody finds someone to block them legally, stay on your feet, and they get it done. Touchdown.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up second and 2. 33-yard line.
Here's Gallup getting it on a jet sweep. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
That's complete into the hands of Myers. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys! Jacoby Myers, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Point after, right down the middle, and that'll make our score 14-7. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. This one fielded at the 5. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll get about 3 here as he's out to the 30.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now, 29, 29. Check. Alpha. Check 55, come on. Express. Back 55, back 55. Check the out. Mike,
throwing his car on 3rd down. Trying to get it to Williams, but it's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. I don't know who all is to blame there, but I love seeing pick sixes.
Nothing like seeing someone pluck it out of the air and go the other way and see people try to change directions. Hard to do.
Extra point right down the middle. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And that 14-0 lead to begin the ball game, well, that's gone now. Time to regroup.
I think even up 2 touchdowns, they knew this wasn't going to be a walk in the park, and I think that's why we would see the head coach going up and down the sidelines telling his team, let's stay with it, let's keep going. It's almost like he knew they were going to make their run at him, and they have. As you said, let's see if they can regroup and get going again.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Operating from the gun. Carr going for the deep. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. J.J. Nelson. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders have taken the lead. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 21-14. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at the 3. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides in this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match in a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Let's go, D.
Looking to throw. Prescott. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And now off to the races down the right side. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they gave up the pick 6. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up. But you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. Evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
54 Mike. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you.
A first down throw for Prescott. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
And that false start penalty is certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Out of the gun. Here's Prescott. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Prescott from the gun. Going to throw right side here, complete. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 36.
You know I'm going to lean towards the defender, right? You know I'm going to do that.
I know.
That's a tough situation for him as I see it. But the truth of the matter is, That ball was not streaking towards him. Had a little arc on it. He's got to find a way to get his head around to make a play on the football.
Got an open man, Keelan Cole. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
And again, it's Prescott. And he will find his man on the outside. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
The offense on third down tonight, they've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. They're looking at third and a few inches. They'll try and run for it with Elliott. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Officially a gain of just a yard there, but they do convert on third and inches.
First down. First and 10 at the 25-yard line.
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Well, we know he's an electric runner. Earlier this half, you were wondering how they were going to bottle him up at different levels. That was your suggestion. Some mixed results.
Yeah, certainly, because we have seen him bottled up at times. We've seen him play him very well. We've also seen him pop the cork a few times and get out of there, haven't we?
We have indeed. On second down now, it's Elliott, and he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. To throw is Prescott. And it'll be intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Cooper was the intended target.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They begin with a run by Crowell. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that would look pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
We gotta step it up. Hey, Zoo! Express! I'm coming!
From the gun, Carr lets it go for Nelson. This is caught, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. J.J. Nelson 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Carlson now to add the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line.
Let's go.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because their confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked out and incomplete. Robert Alford that time on the great coverage.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Mike's 50, Mike's 54.
Here's Prescott. The throw taken in by Cole. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 31-yard line. Prescott now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. They play fake to Elliott. Now Prescott under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this 1st half. Sacks a growing theme in this 1st half. This is 2nd and long. Now Prescott. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick. Cooper was the target there. We haven't even escaped the 1st half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the 1st half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Switch gears.
On the ground is Jacobs to start the drive. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Now that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down.
2nd and 12 at the 44-yard line.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Go. 50's the mic. 50's the mic.
Operating from the gun. Carr nowhere to escape, and he goes down. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On the counter, Elliott. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And out will come the offense as they take over.
At their own 37-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Now left side, a completion to his tight end.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Express. 29. Mike's 50. Mike's 50. I got one.
To throw on third down. Carr. It's caught. Nelson. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. This offense, they were dynamic in the first half. The halftime break, that didn't slow them down at all. Big strike here in the third quarter.
It's almost as if they were saying, it's not just our skill in the first half that's getting this done, it's confidence as well. And confidence has taken over this game in a big way. How about these strikes that we're seeing?
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. So the big play moves them all the way across midfield. It's 1st and 10 from the 45. Prescott throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cole. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It's a gain of 7. Brings up 2nd and 3 at the Raiders' 39-yard line.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
Let's get out the field, defense.
Now Prescott. Got his man there, complete to Gallup. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Cowboy touchdown. Michael Gallup, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys get a bit closer.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. When this offense gathers to watch the tape, they're going to like a lot of what they saw. They put up big numbers, but they might fast forward through that last play.
Oh, there won't be any fast forwarding, partner. I've sat in those sessions before. You end up spending more time on the bad plays than you do on the good ones. It's just the nature of coaches. But I know sitting in that room, when you've had a big game, the night that they've had, you don't want to hear that. You just want to focus on the good stuff.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Again, it's Crowell. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Yes, indeed. That play there, that reminds me of some of the guys that I played with that have that suddenness, able to get into the backfield almost about the time the ball snapped and make a play. How about that tackle for a loss?
Absolutely. He did a lot of that last week when he was named the NFC Defensive Player of the Week. One of the guys on the team would say, yeah, we called him the disruptor, and that's carrying forward again.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Looking deep downfield. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Make it 4 touchdown passes now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. And that was just a fly route. There was no stop. He just went.
Yeah, and it was beautiful to watch because you have to set it up as you go along. Everyone knows he's fast, so you play him for that. That's the number one thing you want to take away. But as you go through a game, sometimes you vary the speed in which you come off the line of scrimmage and maybe start a little bit slower, get him to stop his feet a little bit as a defensive back, and then explode and go as we saw there.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try.
He's got him in, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in a cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
Last play went for over 30 yards. This one not quite as big, but still over 20.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too.
Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one. On 2nd and 10, Prescott, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. Now Prescott on 4th down. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. The Cowboys here unable to convert on 4th down. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. They'll run it again with Crowell. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
Check 9, check 9.
A 1st down carry now for Crowell. This will go for 5 up to the 33.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Hey, Echo. 55. You. 55 is mine, guys. 55. I'm on.
On 3rd down, Carr got his man, Isaiah Crowell. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A Raider 1st down, 17 yards. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because Throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
All day, defense, all day, all day. Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, 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 twist.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Check 55 to Mike. Watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down. At this stage of the game, with the score where it is, the key here is stay in bounds, and he did just that. Not by a huge margin, but he stayed in.
And those come up in what we like to call winning edge meetings. The things that you have to do. Late game situations, kicking situations, doesn't matter what it is, the things you have to do to win a game, and that comes up in that meeting, then you practice it, they've got to be happy to see it executed, being able to stay in bounds and work the clock.
Carr going to try and throw on 3rd down. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Here's Logan Cook now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
No gain on this defense, no gain.
A little jet sweep to start the drive. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
54 Mike. Cut.
On 2nd down, it's Elliott. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. Prescott now. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run on 1st down. Crowell. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. DeMarcus Lawrence in on the tackle.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now.
Right down, 185. Hatchet. Tight dog.
They'll keep it on the ground. Crowell, 5 yards on first down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on second.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead, positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
And it's third down.
Hey, we got to get to the ball. Let's do. To the ball. Let's keep moving. Converge.
Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Check 37. Check 37.
On third down, Crowell. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Mike's 50. It's our field. It's our field.
On first down, Crowell. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Down at the 41. 8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Cowboys' 41-yard line.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Raiders, the win means they'll finish the first half at a respectable 5-3 record. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Dallas, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sport.